Hey guys, how you doing? This is Coach Avalos again, coming to you with a market update on Monday, November 28th. And what a day today. It was bearish times bearish. And we kind of saw this coming already in the bull ring. We've had these conversations in the private chat room, which I'm going to leave you guys a link below. If you guys care to join, the link will be there. I'll give you 7 days free. And I thank you for subscribing. If you guys find value in this, please hit the like button and share with your friends. All right, so let's go ahead and start with SPY. I had an amazing day with SPY today. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I did to short SPY. So obviously the market was in a downtrend. And let's come over here and I mark off the beginning of the day. Okay. So beginning of the day, SPY started going down. And one of the things I do is I like to let the stocks ride for about an hour or so. And what I did notice, right, and the reason I don't trade the first hour, because I want to make sure that all the volatility is gone in the stock. But you can see here the Heikin-Ashi, and you can see in the regular candles, there was a downtrend. But let's start with Heikin-Ashi candles, which shows momentum. And you can see, right, this is like a nice little Christmas tree, except there was more red than green for the day. So that was my first sign. We're going to be bearish. The second one was my Ichimoku clouds. Okay. If you guys are interested in learning how to use these clouds, I do have a course, and it is 25% off today. Link will be below in the description. So if you guys want to learn how to use this. So these clouds tell me if we are bearish or bullish. And you can see on the 1 minute, okay, all day, these candles were staying for the most part right under those clouds. Okay. Well, one of the things I've talked about in the past is when you're ready to make a trade, okay, set up your support lines. If you think it's falling, okay, and this is what I did, and I'll show you. This is also in the courses I have. So this is my support line, yellow. So you see we bounced here, and then we went up and didn't come back down till here, until about 1252. And at some point we broke support. And what I did is I set an order in here. I didn't buy here. I didn't buy here. I buy here, because once you break support, you're going to go down for a little while. Okay. And we sure did. I took profits here. Then I set another order here. And sure enough, we fell, and I took profits again. Okay. So I had about 3-4 trades with different stocks today, and it went very well. And this is just based off my rules. Okay. And in the course, I do teach you guys how to create your own rules if you're interested. So let's go over to Apple. This is another sign for me that it was going to be a bearish day. So you can see here, Apple on the 4-hour. Okay. We had one right there, one hit on the resistance line. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 times the charm. So I knew Apple was in trouble from the get-go, and we knew this on November 23rd. Okay, so we had hit that resistance line on the 4-hour, and we were already headed down. Okay, another thing that tells me Apple is falling is the MACD. If you see the MACD, okay, we've already crossed, or we're diverging, and we will go down for a little while. Okay. The other thing that told me that was the RSI. So the RSI is crossing my yellow line here, which is a 50-day moving average. Okay. I added on there just for an extra visual to let me know, hey, this is really a bearish or a bullish move depending on where the stock is going. Okay. Now what I have here is support lines for Apple for the next few runs down, because I do believe it's going to continue down. Okay. Feel free to screenshot these numbers on the right in yellow. Those are support. Anytime it goes under that, I will be buying more Apple puts, which is what I currently have. And I will sell those in the morning as soon as it hits another support line. But as it goes down, I will be placing orders under the yellow lines to make some profits in there. Okay. Now, when the stock wakes up in the morning, right, like the rest of us, potentially the stock can bounce up a little bit, okay? But one of the things I remember is that we have this line here, okay? So how do you play that if it goes the other way? So one thing you can do is set a stop loss, right? So you can set a stop loss anywhere in here you want, okay? I personally will set it behind the line because after 5 times, I think it's going to bounce again. But if it doesn't, my stop loss will kick in. This is where you learn how to manage your risk. If you can afford to do that, you do it. If not, then you need to figure out different resistance areas, okay? So that's what I'm doing with Apple. And one of the other things that I'm looking at with Apple in the market is, if you guys remember my chart here, I have 3 waves. We are still in wave 3 down here, okay? Now, I don't suspect we're going to break through this wave, but we do have a lot of room to go down. So right in here, okay, we have a lot of room to fall, and then we can bounce and go through that yellow resistance line and continue on into wave 2, and then eventually wave 1, okay? But that's what I'm seeing for now. Let's go over to Amazon. Amazon and Microsoft did not behave today. They did not follow the market. So it was killing people's calls and puts. Look at this. Took off, came back down, took off, and did the same thing for a few times. So it was really faking people out who are trying to get in and out of calls. So one of the things I recommend, guys, is just take this little marker. Okay, that's my high. Then I notice a lower high, so on and so on. So at some point in here, you can jump into some puts, okay, if that's what you wanted to do, because I know a lot of people are trying to do that. And what happens is, and I'll show you, Microsoft did the very same thing. Well, I'm sorry, not Microsoft, Tesla. Okay, so Tesla did the very same thing. So it jumped up, pulled back, jumped up, pulled back a little bit, and then kept doing the same thing, and eventually ended up down, okay? So what do you see here? Higher high, and then if you want to count this as a double top on the 5-minute, that's your first sign that we will be going down. The second sign was these candles coming under the 5-day moving average, which is bearish, okay? Once they went under that 5, they never came back up, if you see that for a while. So these are little things you can look for if you're trying to short or if you're trying to go long, whether it's you're buying options, puts, and calls. These are the things that I teach in the course, but it's very, very important that you have rules and that you understand technical analysis, okay? Now, last but not least, I want to show you guys SPX. SPX, right? It's the S&P 500. And one of the things that I want you to look out for, because a lot of people don't understand how this market works, and I'm going to show you real quickly how, when you buy a put or an option that expires the same day, this is how you get burnt on those puts and options with theta. Okay, so if you understand theta, I'm going to show you real quickly. If your stock is doing this, theta is burning that delta and it's eating it up. So what I do is I look for the market. What is it doing? Is it going sideways or is it going down? Okay. SPX is very infamous, okay, for doing this, and a few other stocks, because this is what the market makers do. The market makers will look at how many calls and options, and if you guys are looking how many we have, it is at a record high rate of puts and options on all these stocks due to the volatility in the market. Now, when this goes sideways, okay, theta is eating those things up. Okay, so I want you to think about this, and this is almost like holding an ice cream in your hand, and you're standing in the sun trying to look for a cooler spot. That's theta. Theta is melting your ice cream. So be very careful when you guys are playing SPX or any other stock and you see this, okay, because obviously we can say, hey, look, it's headed down, okay, but it's going sideways most of the time. So make sure you guys recognize that if you're day trading, or even if you're doing swing trading like the way I've been doing it. Make sure you guys understand that if you buy more time on an option, it helps with getting a smaller theta. Okay, now everything else kind of did the same, went down. Now what's going to happen tomorrow? Okay, well, that's real simple. And what's going to happen tomorrow is nobody knows. Okay, so but let's look at our chart on SPX and see where we're at. So there's a couple of things you should be looking at on the daily. Okay, we can mark a lot of things off here. So I see a double top in here. Okay, we can also go over to our TD sequential and see what day we're in. Okay, so now we're showing that we were in a bullish TD sequential, but now we have a red candle that closed under the 5-day moving average, which is super bearish. Okay, now when I come down here and I look at the RSI, okay, the RSI doesn't really tell me the whole story, because I could look at this and say, okay, there's resistance there, but we can also come over to the 4-hour, and now I see a trend that I really want to see, which is telling me we're potentially going in a downtrend. Okay, now if I come over to my MACD, okay, my MACD on the 1-hour, I'm sorry, the 4-hour already crossed, so I know we're headed in a down direction. Okay, but I don't have that on the daily yet. Now I'm going to switch over to Apple. Apple on the daily MACD is just about to make that commitment. Okay, now on the RSI as well, they're about to make the commitment to fall. And then on the TD sequential, they've already started day 2. But if I come over to the 4-hour chart, okay, everything has already crossed, and this is very bearish for the market, because Apple, if you did not know, is the biggest market cap. So when Apple moves, a lot of stocks follow it. Okay, so again, if this helps you, and if you like what you heard and it added some value, do me a favor and hit the like button and share this with your friends and family. Also, don't forget, I'm gonna leave you guys some links for the courses below, 25% off. Until next time, I hope you guys have a green day tomorrow.